Hello and welcome everyone again to my humble channel. This will be what I would say is the last video regarding the quarter panel installation or the aftermarket quarter panel installation from Photofab. I have completed attaching the quarter panel to the car. Now I am reviewing my welds as well as trying to make some surfaces where I spot welded a little bit smoother. We'll be connecting this welds a little bit better. The panel is attached to the car. It seems to be a very solid weld. However, there are some areas that the welds didn't look as good as I wish they would have, so I'm kind of redoing some of those. So it's pretty much done. I'm almost there to the point where I can say, okay, I'm done with this. I can move on to something else. One particular small detail on this quarter panel, which I thought it was a little bit weird. At first I thought it was a mistake for me, but then I realized that in fact the quarter panel is cut wrong, so it needs to be trimmed. I'm going to direct your attention right here to the section that would be, let me go ahead and see if I can zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. Let's move this way and downwards a little bit, and let me see if I can get this to move. So I'm going to bring your attention to this section right here, which is the, I guess you would call the pinch weld on the bottom of the quarter panel. So it's not as bad as you think. I mean, it's bring your attention to it just because it's just a small detail, and I'm trying to do this with as much possible correct detail as I can. So at plain sight, you would think that the width of this lip right here of the quarter panel matches the width of the lip on the car, which is where it's actually attached to. It does not, and it's kind of deceiving. It's kind of hard to see, but I don't know if you can see right here. I put in pencil a small line that scribes all the way across from one end to the other, and then it tapers down. That's because that's excess material. So this is not an even lip. It's actually thicker on this side than it is on this side. And that's why you see this multiple holes that have nothing in it, and those holes are because I had used my hole puncher to punch holes where I thought it would be attached to the existing lip from the car. And as you can see, I missed just about every single one of them because this panel is too thick. It's actually the distance from here to here is more than I need. So when I made my holes, I was assuming, you know what they say when you assume, that this was actually even, and it is not. It is actually wider here than it is on this corner here. So once I get to work on the bottom of the car, we'll talk about that in just a few more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and zip this here through this line, which will then make this line across from the pinch weld to be even and horizontal, as right now it actually pivots down like that. But that's just a detail, just a minor detail, no big deal. I have it spot welded up here already all the way along, and it's very solid, no issues there. Also wanted to show you the same issue or similar issue with the actual inside of the fender lip right here. Same thing. If you compare this fender lip right here, the width of it, with the fender lip from the stock quarter panel, this fender lip is a lot wider. and it's actually a lot wider than the inside wheel well that I installed, which is also brand new from Fotofab. They don't match. They don't really quite match. So I had to make the holes closer this way to be able to spot weld this lip to the inside of the fender well or wheel well there. And since I am going to be flipping this a little bit to accommodate my tire, no big deal, but I might as well take the time now to kind of trim that off. So I will be trimming the width of this right here. Probably, I would say maybe a little bit over 1/8 of an inch to be able to then even it out with the lip of the inside wheel well. No big deal, but disappointing that it doesn't match and I have to go through all that trouble there. I didn't quite really foresee that when I was putting the quarter panel in. I figure if it fit, it fit. I didn't realize that, you know, inside the actual brand new inner fender well, it does not match this part right here. So no big deal there either. Everything else turned out to be fairly decent. Going back over here to this section on the car where most of my troubles were. This is the section that talks about that shows this angle right here that did not match this line. This actually is very nice now. It's fairly matched after I hammer and dolly this, which before came straight down. It did not have that almost 90-degree turn there. It just came straight down to down here. Just completely, I guess it's stamped incorrectly, and so it's fixed. That's what really matters. It's done. It's there. Up here, I'm going to have to use a little bit of body filler and fix this a little bit better to be able to match this ridge here to the ridge on the quarter panel. FYI, this ridge right here is not as pronounced as the factory quarter panel. So this is more flat than the factory quarter panel. The factory quarter panel comes more towards a point right here. So that I will have to fix. In addition to that, there is a small corner, and I'm going to bring the camera around here for you guys to see as well. There is a small section right here. If you see, I don't know if you guys can see well enough, but the quarter panel is not cut correctly. It should have been cut higher. That's why you see a gap right there. That's a hole. That's actually an actual hole that goes through there. And I'm going to have to fill that in with something. I think I might use some of that Perma Bond, I think is what it's called. You know, some of the high-end body shops use it. It's just as strong as a weld, and you can actually sand it down and form it. So I might use it to plug that hole and form that little corner right there instead of trying to stitch a piece of metal there to match that little corner. That would be beyond my abilities, I suppose. But that Perma Bond, I think it's called Perma Bond. I can't remember the exact name of that stuff. But it's two different chemicals that mix together inside a gun. And then when you squeeze it out, it comes already mixed. And that stuff, when it dries, it's just like rock solid. Some people use it instead of actually welding because it's just as strong or even stronger. It can be sanded down. It's difficult, requires a little more effort, but it could be sanded down. So I'm going to go ahead and use that up here just to fill that little gap right there. Same thing with this little hole right here. I'm also going to fill that with that stuff and then grind it off. The inside of the trunk, it's, you know, fairly nice. It came out pretty good. I actually spot welded it from the inside instead of the outside to minimize my body work out here. One other difference, and I've covered this before, but for those of you that are going to be buying a quarter panel from Fab, yes, it does not have the marker light here. I'm debating whether I'm going to put all the marker lights on the car or leave it like this. I think I will. I think I'm going to put the marker lights on. It's, you know, it's part of the car original body. I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, it would be a lot easier to cut a hole right here to put that that marker light versus having to go all the way around and sealing every other corner. One more design flaw here. There's a body line right here, and I don't know if you guys can see it. I think you can. Yeah, I'm running my finger right through it. That body line right there. That body line on the original quarter panel goes all the way out here and then disappears as it makes this turn here. That body line on this quarter panel disappears here. So from here to here, I'm going to have to create that body line to be able to match the original quarter panel. Also, this little edge right here, it's more pronounced on the quarter panel, the factory quarter panel. If you're like me, I'm trying to, you know, make sure that this is as equal or the same as the original quarter panel that's on the other side. So I'm going to have to work on this a little bit of body filler maybe to be able to make this edge here more pronounced this way as it is on the factory quarter panel. So what's next after this? Well, after this, what we're going to be doing is actually flipping the car upside down, and we are going to be removing all the undercoating from the car. I'm going to make my next video is going to be actually where I get to inspect the bottom of the car for rust, number one, which I don't think there's any, depending on what's underneath this old 50-year-old undercoating. So that'll be fun to remove all that stuff. But I am going to remove all the undercoating from the car to be able to then treat the hole underneath the car with a epoxy primer. And more than likely, my next bet would be to do a Raptor liner on the car. Haven't decided if I want to do the Raptor liner in the original color it comes in, which is black, or if I want to try to emulate the way it was from factory, where the inside of the fenders were the same color of the car out on the outside, as well as some areas underneath the car. That's a lot of work, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes. This is definitely a lot of work, but I'm enjoying doing this, and I want to make or do the best possible job I can. I will discuss other tools that I got here to remove this stuff. I've seen a lot of videos of guys on the internet trying to do this. They seem to struggle quite a bit, and there is no particular formula as to how to remove this unless you want to dip the car, and obviously I'm not doing that. One thing I tell you that I recommend for anyone that is going to be doing this kind of work, unless you're obviously 18 years old and you can crawl underneath any space, I don't know. I'm not there, obviously. I'm a little older now. So get yourself a used rotisserie. That's what I did from the old marketplace. People get to use them, buy them, use them, and then sell them when they're done. Just find somebody that's done with their project that is willing to sell their rotisserie. I found this one just about an hour away from here. It was like brand spanking new. The guy said he used it once, and that was it. So I got lucky on this one. I got an opportunity to buy this one. I think I paid like $800. The cheapest one, brand new with shipping and everything included, was like 1,500, 1,400, something like that. Don't know what the brand is. I have no idea, but it seems to be well constructed and it works fine. And it has made my life very easy. So if you can swing those $800 or so to buy one of these, go ahead and buy it. Because when you're done, you'll be able to sell it and probably recover, all the money out of it, if not most of it. I foresee myself selling it again for about the same $800 because they keep going up in prices. And now with this, whatever, I don't know, steel and aluminum is going up. So who knows? That's it. That's it for today. I want to thank everyone again for coming to see my videos. I'm sorry I'm not a big video guy, so it's very difficult for me to edit and do all that stuff and add music and all that other stuff. But if you're finding anything that I'm doing here helpful to you when you get ready to do yours, or just because you're curious and you want to see how it's done, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe so that I can at least say that I made the effort to make these videos and they were somewhat successful. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining me today, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode very soon. Thank you. Have a good day.